There we go. I always fuck it up on the first little thing. It's where, as soon as I log in, I forget that it auto mutes this every time I switch the scene. But hello, spur of the moment. No guest tonight, unfortunately. I actually completely forgot it was Tuesday, which is okay. It kind of gives me a chance to just kind of go over some things that have been happening that I haven't really fully been able to go into too much detail about over Twitter, which kind of makes sense. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I was just for some reason I thought today was Monday. And I think it's mostly just been because every day for the last little while has just kind of melded together and seemed like a blur. Like, specifically because of a lot of stresses that have happened, I just didn't even bother knowing what time it was. And I usually kind of reset myself knowing when I'm going to be working, but because I'm taking, like, 3 months off of work, that's kind of going to fuck with my brain a little bit. So I guess I'll start with that. The reason I'm kind of taking some time off of work is I want to take the time to actually learn how to edit properly instead of just trying to piece it together by learning bits and pieces by myself. So I'm gonna get somebody to actually teach me, so that's gonna be good. Hopefully that'll improve my content tenfold. Hell, I'll even settle for like a 50% increase in the quality of my content. But with that happening, that's completely cool with me. I don't mind taking the time off and just actually sitting down and working, you know, kind of like how with Maximum Underdrive, they take the time to build up their streams before they even stream, and you can see that amount of dedication and work that they put into it. I kind of want to have a similar thing going on where you can see my stream and see that I've actually put work into it, but without me actually necessarily wanting to look like I actually put work into it. It's the tsundere way. I'm trying to be a tsundere editor, where it's like, I don't want to seem like I did anything, but I would like praise for knowing that I did. That's just kind of how it is for me right now. But yeah, no, that's going to be good. I'm very excited to see what kind of things I learn, because now I can actually use Adobe. Evan and or I think it was Clyde told me. Clyde told me that resetting Windows might actually fix what was going on, because it could just be a Windows error that I was having, because for some reason the media encoder would just not work whatsoever. So Evan telling me to, or sorry, I keep saying Evan, Clyde telling me to reinstall Windows is basically what's going to fix it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. I tried the trial, it worked, it actually rendered and completed the video without any media encoder errors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the actual subscription and keep it going. So I think it'll be good. I don't think Chris even thinks he's just a robot. I mean, if that's the case, then I should be thinking faster than anyone in the world, and I should only have to go into sleep mode every so often. And I'm kind of okay with that. See, the thing is, I wouldn't mind being a robot. I wouldn't mind having it so that all of my internal organs are replaced with cybernetics, or cybertronics, or whatever you want to call it. Like, if we go the way of cyberpunk, I'm fine with it. As long as I get to keep my penis in my brain, I'm fine. I want to be able to feel things too. Like, I don't want to just go through life being numb from the neck down. But I think that's essentially where evolution is going, right? We're not going to keep progressing as just us on our own, at least not at the speeds that we want. So us fusing with technology in itself is kind of evolution, if you think about it. But yeah, kind of going back to what I was saying before, it's going to be nice to see what I can kind of pull off with the green screen that I have now. And just see what kind of skits I can make, see what kind of animated GIFs I can make, see what kind of shit I can make down the road as I learn Adobe Premiere, Adobe Photoshop, and After Effects. That's one of the things that I think is going to make a big difference is After Effects. I'm not sure how I'm going to implement it yet, but I mean, we get animated emotes now, so I mean, that's a thing. But I also have to try to figure out if I'm actually going to stay on Twitch or not. Just because I would be perfect for this podcast. Massive cunt with another massive cunt. True. We'll have to work it out a different day, though, Zarin, because I know you said it was pretty late where you are. What I'm thinking is maybe next week we could do it probably like around 6 my time. That might work better, because that'll be about 9 p.m. your time. If that works for you, I'd be down. I'll gladly have you as a guest. But where was I? I was talking about... Oh, yes, we have animated GIFs now. Don't think I'm going to be able to really... Oh, you think so? Perfect. All right. Well, we'll keep that in mind for the future of next week. Let me know, like, the day before or a couple days before if you're good to go. If you are, then we can arrange it. If not, I'll try to figure something else out. Hopefully I'll remember. But yeah, The thing is Twitch has had a lot of hypocrisies lately. Uh, I know hot tub streams were a big, tough subject for a lot of people. I didn't really care personally having them on there. I just liked that they had their own little area to go to. But the problem I'm now facing with the ASMR side of things is it's just people licking a microphone and sticking their ass at the camera. I know there's a market for that, and that's okay. That's completely fine. I don't care that they do it. What I care about is how they decide to ban people. So, people get banned for like the strangest, most bizarre fucking things on this platform. And people that are clearly flaunting their sexuality and doing things of an inappropriate nature typically should get banned. Like, if somebody accidentally flaunts a titty in a video game, they're banned for like a week. Amaranth, and I think there was another one, I can't remember her name, but it has Fox in it, Indie Fox or something. They both got banned for 3 days. After licking a microphone and just zooming a camera into their ass. So I don't understand the hypocrisies that Twitch is trying to enforce here. And I think they just need to make it very clear that either everyone can get away with this, and not just the women, or nobody can get away with it. They have to make a solid standpoint. Because if they're going to do this, and they're not going to ban any of these people in these categories, and they're going to ban somebody else for something that's literally like a fart, then it's just like, nah, fuck Twitch. Twitch is screwed. At that point, YouTube is going to take over. And honestly, YouTube, I looked at their streaming service. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Their chat's not as good, but I think down the road that will change. But Twitch has to figure out the hypocrisies on this. It's not the content that pisses me off. It's literally just how two-faced they are. If they were to just flat out just send out a new TOS that says nudity is no longer banned unless it's blatant or pornographic, then yeah, sure. I guess ASMR ear licking and hot tub streams won't fall under that because, again, they're not nude. They're in bikinis or they're in scantily clothed outfits. That's fine. That's fine. But I want them to just fully reiterate that they're either going to make it so everybody is treated equally, and that, they'll just, make it a little bit less harsh for male streamers, because I hate to be this guy, but there is a fucking clear bias towards women. And it's starting to get annoying. Like, look at Forsen, for example. Didn't he get banned for, like, the stupidest shit, and they never reversed his stream? But then some chick, like, full-on just spread her pussy in front of the camera for, like, 3 seconds, and she got, like, a 2-day ban? Like, excuse me, Twitch? Where's the equality? Twitch is never about equality. They're about perceived equality. And as long as they can get away with it, they will. Because if anything, this is just making them more money than hand over fist. And it's kind of annoying. I would really, really like them to just put a flag in the ground and just announce something. Like, stop leaving everybody hanging. Stop making it so everybody's confused about this. Just give a very clear new TOS that says you can either all get away with this or you can't. It's enough with the bias. It's enough with the double standard. Because honestly, on YouTube, this shit wouldn't happen. Everybody just gets banned for doing something really fucking terrible. And that's kind of why I'm thinking about switching over. Because YouTube, again, is pretty open about not banning creators for small infractions like that. If there's nudity, they seem to deal with a lot more... they seem to deal with a lot more context than Twitch does. Twitch doesn't have context. Sneezing on a dog, that's a ban. Unless you're a woman. Then it's a promotion. Like, look at Alinity. She tossed her cat and tried to feed it vodka and kill it. And what happened to her? 1-day ban. And she had to beg to be banned. She wasn't even given the ban. Twitch was like, you're fine, you're fine. But the backlash was ridiculous. All it did was screw over Alinity and make her look even worse. Like, to the point where she had to go out of her way to get a ban. That is how you know. That is how you know Twitch is fucking biased. And I'm willing to say it all day. I'll say it to their faces. I'll call Jeff Bezos right now if he gives me a phone number, and I'll call him the beta male that he is. I'll call him a cuck. His wife's fucking some other dude now. Oh, wait, no. I guess they're divorced now. So I guess he's not technically a cuck, but he sure runs the business like he is. which is kind of annoying. But yeah, no, I'm getting annoyed with that, and it's making it so that I have to start looking at other options if they're going to keep the hypocrisies up. And honestly, YouTube is going to be good. He runs the business at all. He probably doesn't, but the fact that like his name's all over it, he has to do something. He has to come out with something. He's got to change whoever's managing Twitch at this point, because nobody respects Twitch. It's getting really bad. I guess that's true. They are fully detached. I guess it's like Bill Gates and Elon Musk. Well, Musk actually still works on stuff. He's still, I feel like he's more hands-on than most billionaires. You'll get along well. This is the guy who got inspired by Leafy is here. I mean, I like Leafy is here. I thought his version of trolling was pretty good. Musk interferes a lot. That's a good point. He does like to make sure that he's too involved. If only he could manage to balance like the in-between of him and like a Bill Gates, where he's still a part of it, but he's not a part of everything. He's not even remotely half as smart as he likes to make people think he is. True. That's the thing. And the problem is his ego is big enough where he thinks he's as smart as he claims he is. But everybody else sees that he's not as smart as he claims he is. So it's really funny to see that balance in his ego, because there's definitely a huge ego there. Leafy was Trump-level trolling brilliant? Oh yeah, he was great. He was fantastic. But it sucks that YouTube had to ban him. But I don't think his ban was justified. What I think happened was Ethan Klein probably got in the way of things. He probably got his fan base to false flag him to the point where he ended up just getting reported and banned, and that was just it. Like you saying things without clarification that only helped to further promote that. Well, what do you mean without further clarification? Like, because for me, I think I was pretty clear on the fact that I just want them to clarify their TOS and make it so that there's not that weird gray area where a guy can get banned for accidentally playing a game with a really sexy character, but Amaranth can fart into a microphone, lick its ears, and then stick a camera in her ass, and she gets like a slap on the wrist. I just don't think it's fair. If they want to make that part of the content, I'm all for it. I don't care. I just want them to... Oh, he still does stuff and this and that. Oh... Saying things without clarification that only help to further... Oh, I see what you're saying. Right, okay. I thought we were going back to the whole Jeff Bezos needs to do something about Twitch thing. Oh, yeah, he's not that smart. He's definitely not. But he's good at making himself seem that way. Like, he's... What's the word I'm looking for here? He's good at being a wolf in sheep's clothing, I guess is the best way of putting it. Chat lag? Ah, that's what it is. Chat lag. But yeah, I just it's an odd situation. I'm just backtracking again to the whole Twitch thing. I just want Jeff Bezos or whoever is running Twitch right now to just change things up, make everything more solid, so I don't have to be like, okay, I'm gonna switch to YouTube. But that could also be vice versa, where they're just going to say, no, we're not going to change anything. We're just going to do it as in discretion, or to our discretion, which, in fairness, 99% of the time, if it's a hot woman, their discretion is, yeah, we'll let her keep going it, because she'll just make us more money. If it's a guy doing the same thing, gone. And I just want them to stop that. I want them to stop being hypocrites. And if that's what happens, then great. I'm all for any change that they want to make. Completely for it. That's just kind of what's been bothering me with Twitch lately. I just don't see the equality, and it's getting annoying, especially when it comes from a company that claims to be so incredibly woke, yet they are the least they are the least equal company out there right now for streaming. Emmett Shear has stated a desire to support a wide variety of platforms, stating that they wanted to be on every platform where people watch video, to answer your question. So I guess he's trying to get it to my free cams? I don't get it. I don't care that they want to do that. It's just, I want them to stop being hypocrites. That's it. That's not hard. It's really not hard to get rid of the moderators that completely fuck over everything and make Twitch look like they're fucking idiots. Because every single decision they make literally just shows them they're playing poker with their hand facing you. You see every card they have, and yet they're trying to bluff. It makes no sense. It's stupid. Twitch just needs to set something in stone, write it down, change the TOS, make everything equal, and if it's not equal, go back and change all the bans leading up to this. because here's the thing that's crazy. 3 DMCA strikes equals a permaban. We all know this. Everybody knows this. But the same thing can be said about sexual content. Sexual content is also three strikes, you're out. Problem is all the female streamers that have done more than 3 strikes have still stayed on the platform, and their ban has been at most a week. Again, some people get instant permabanned, and 99% of the time, they're men. If somebody can name one female streamer that got permabanned first try, I will take it back. But I doubt it. I really, really doubt it. This was before... Oh, I mentioned that before Twitch blew up, and it was Twitch cams. This started around like 2015. This was before woke Twitch. So that's what it is. But I just... The hypocrisies need to stop. And if that stops, great. I'll stay on Twitch. If it doesn't, I'll move to YouTube. It's kind of that simple. And I think a lot of creators are feeling the same way, because it just makes people feel like they look at men and think, oh, well, we don't like you as much. So if you fuck up, you're just gone. You're trash. You're garbage. Get out of here, kid. Like, that's how it feels. And I don't think Twitch cares. I don't think Twitch will ever care, because it doesn't affect their money. They're still making money hand over fist from all the big creators that aren't going to get banned. But I don't know. I don't really want to spend too much time harping on that. I just wanted to throw out my opinion out there about that, because I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and I just want my opinion set in stone. I don't care about the content that's on here. I just care about the hypocrisy. And if that changes, great. If Twitch comes out and they do what they need to do, fantastic. If they don't, well, fuck me. It's really simple to do. Why is it so hard for you guys to just fucking make everything equivalent for everybody? YouTube's done a much better job than Twitch on that part, but they still need to improve their shit too. Like, there's a lot of things that need to be improved on YouTube, but Twitch needs like an overhaul at this point. Maybe not an overhaul. They just need to change their rules, especially if this is the direction they want to go. It's strange. It's very odd. Okay, so I kind of want to backtrack. So another thing that's been going on recently, and this is kind of the reason why I disappeared from the internet for like a week or two. Like, I came on for the podcast because it's something I was going to continue doing regardless. I don't want to miss out on a podcast. That's not something I'm planning on doing. So basically what happened is about a month ago, I was just burnt out. I was stressed. There were things going on in my day-to-day life that made it so I just didn't have the energy mentally to stream. So that's why in May I didn't stream nearly as much. And then I got that pep in my step back, and as soon as I started getting back into Twitch streaming, a situation happened with one of my friends who ended up going missing. And usually that wouldn't be too scary, knowing what kind of lifestyle she lives, but it was already 2 weeks. And I've watched a lot of crime dramas in the past, and 2 weeks is a long time. So, as you can probably tell, it affected me pretty greatly. I do show a lot of empathy, especially towards my friends, so when things like that happen, it hurts a lot more than I'm willing to put out there. Like, I'll probably hide my feelings more so than expose them or anything like that. It's much harder to be vulnerable on the internet than it is to be just a sarcastic asshole. So that in itself basically, like, it drained me to a point where I couldn't even work. I had to call in a couple times specifically because of it, because I was just constantly in my own head, stressed out, just, just going through those loops and those thought loops that just really crush you. And it's the only reason I'm really bringing this up is because it's something that people think makes you a burden, but in reality, it really doesn't. The reason I always feel like it makes me a burden is because I don't think people care about me as much as I think they do. And in reality, they do. And that's the problem. I think I push away to try to avoid being vulnerable. And it's interesting because, like, I will do my best to at least inform people what's going on, so that way I'm not totally going through it alone, if that makes sense. But she was found, so thankfully she was found. The problem that I'm facing now is the reasons for her disappearance were completely selfish. I'm not going to explain why, but that part I think hurt more than them being missing. Because if they had just told me what was going on from the beginning, like they typically do, or just let somebody know about this, the police wouldn't have been involved. There wouldn't be hundreds of people looking for this person. It would be more closed, and at least people would have understood what was going on. Because this isn't the first time something like this has happened. And if she had just told one of us, like whether it was her family or me, we would have been in the loop and we wouldn't have been as worried. But because of what she wanted to do, it ended up becoming much bigger than it needed to, and a lot more worry and a lot more hurt was placed onto the people that were closest to her. And it sucks. It sucks. And it feels like it's selfish of me to have those feelings where it's like, yes, that was their situation they were in. They could have died. They could have blah, 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 blah. They could have had all these things happen. And when they come back, of course you're happy. You're thrilled. You're like, whoa, my God. Hell yes, they're safe. Fucking thank God. But there are weird situations that they've put themselves into that would have been understood by me and their family. And it would have made it so I didn't have to go through a week and a half of worry. I wouldn't have had to go through all that stress, and it would have saved me a lot of hurt in the end. And I think the same could be said for the family. I don't know. I don't know what they felt, but it must have been more than what I did. And it's very disrespectful. Like, I know it sounds, like, to me it sounds selfish. It sounds selfish for me to complain about that, but I'm sure other people would also be pretty annoyed in that situation. Like, yeah, I'm happy they're back, but I'm pissed that it was for the reason that it was. In the end, I am still happy they're safe, but that was a kick in the dick. It was not a good time. Twitch is a great dumpster fire that keeps burning. YouTube is a dumpster fire. Well, still is, but yeah, this is, well, the shit I love. That wild, wild west shit. Yeah, no kidding, dude. No kidding. Twitch and YouTube, though, they're not really in competition anymore. Like, YouTube's catching up too much. Like, if you go to YouTube and you click YouTube Gaming, the layout looks pretty much the same, except other than just the games that are being played, there's also creators and videos. Like, it starts with the streamers up at the top, and then videos that those streamers have made, and it kind of elaborates to other creators down below and separates it by game. I actually kind of like that setup a little bit more, because it not only takes them to your stream, but it takes you to previous videos and your channel, which is nice, because that'll help improve your sub count and so on. The only reason I don't think I'll go there right now is because... The only reason I won't go there now is because of one thing. And it sucks, because I checked this earlier, but I guess I had it by mistake. Memberships don't show up unless you have 1,000 subscribers, which is essentially the same thing as having affiliate status with Twitch, but you only have to have an average of 3 viewers here, whereas you have to have 1,000 subscribers and full monetization on YouTube. So their program for that is a lot harder to get into than it is for Twitch. So if I could get to 1,000 subs then switch over, that would probably be my goal in the end. Because on this, I still make money. as fucking upfront as that is. That's kind of where my thought process is. I'm old school Chris. Remember, I remember when this was like John Wayne, Howdy Pilgrims. Ah, yes, the old 2012 internet. Ah, the good old days. But yeah, I figured I'd get the more serious stuff out of the way early on in the podcast. So that was one of the things that was bothering me, was Twitch, and I wanted to kind of air my grievances about the situation with my friend, which I feel like affected me more after the fact than it did during. because it just made me feel so betrayed. As weird as that sounds, it did. Like, why would you do that to somebody you're supposedly so close to? If anything, it just made me feel like that person just did not care at all about me. So, I mean, I've got some thinking to do in that situation. Whether I'm being too upfront or not, I think I'm being reasonable. She went missing, not cool. True, she did go missing. It wasn't cool. But the thing is it was missing out of choice. That's the thing. Let's just say, the easiest way for me to put this is she went missing on purpose. And she didn't tell anybody about it. And that's the part that hurt. At least talk about it. Yeah, like that's kind of what I want to do. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I don't want to go into details as to why. Because I don't fully know the story 100%, but I have been told that it was out of selfish desires. Let's put it that way. So let's go to some happier stuff. Actually, one last grievance I have. So today, went to go get some wine. Got like the biggest bottle of rosé I could find. This is what we call the hobo the hobo wine, because it's 1.5 liters. So I plan on drinking this all tonight because I love rosé. I actually completely forgot that it's a good chilled wine because I've been drinking so much red and white wines and beers that I just forgot rosés exist for some reason. I'm getting too drunk apparently. So as I left my house today to go over to the liquor store to get it, I put on my flip-flops. Problem with that was they were like this weird hybrid-y plastic silicone kind of thing. Or no, I think they were just silicone. Yeah, they were silicone. And when I went over there, it was so hot that the silicone actually stuck to my skin and burned my toes. Like, I still have burn marks on all 5 of my toes from how hot the silicone got while I was walking to the liquor store. And I was only outside for like probably 20 minutes total, about 10 minutes each way, and I did not think that would happen. But we are getting a heat wave this week, so thank God I got an air conditioner. Second best part about that is I got an air conditioner just before the heat wave, thank God. 1.5 liters, bro, try 2 or 4. Crazy shit down here. I know, you guys have like the most insane sized bottles of alcohol, but I don't think they make they make boxed wine that I've seen that's in 4 liters. Do they make jugged wine in America? That seems odd to me. I don't think I'd like that very much. It would make me seem too much like an alcoholic. Oh shit, they do? That's ridiculous. That's so strange. Yeah, that would make me seem too much like an alcoholic. 1.5 liters more than enough for me for right now. I haven't drank as much as I used to, so my tolerance went down quite a bit, and I'm pretty happy about that. I used to drink a lot more when I smoked more. Like, now, I think I had a cigar with one of my buddies about a week ago. That wasn't bad. I enjoyed that. I think it was a Cuban, too. I never tried cigars, though. That was an interesting experience. Definitely not something you want to inhale. I thankfully did not have to learn that the hard way. But yeah, no, I got an air conditioner. Thank the fucking Lord, because this week is going to be a heat wave. Not sure if it's all across like America or anything like that, but at least on the west coast of Canada, there's going to be a pretty intense heat wave. At least one of the hotter parts of summer that I think I could ever remember in July. Or is it June still? That I could ever remember in June. Because it's going to hit just under 40 degrees Celsius. So I think that's 105 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. And it never gets that hot here. So it's going to get fucking ridiculous. And like that's kind of the reason I don't stream during the day, is because it was so hot during the day that I would have to go back and I would have to go and like let me backtrack. During the holidays, we have like supersized bottles. Imagine the biggest booty you can find and put that bottle. Holy crap! Nice. Yeah. No, it's fucking crazy. 105 is fucking nuts. But yeah, no, it's. Oh man, where was I? Yeah, the heat wave was crazy because I don't remember it ever being that hot, and I already get overheated quite a bit. Like last summer was a perfect example. I could barely stream during the day because it was so hot. And I know that kind of makes me sound like a bitch, but like I really hated the fact that almost every 5 minutes I was dapping my forehead. Like now I don't have the air conditioner on, but my room is still cool, and I'm already still a little bit sweaty because it's still pretty humid out. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't be streaming. I would probably be waiting until midnight to stream, and that's kind of why when I first started streaming, my streams were from like 12 to 6 a.m. It wasn't necessarily because it had to be at that time. It was because I could only really do it at that time without being a sweaty mess. But now that I've got this, I can stream during the day a lot easier without having to worry nearly as much. And that's such a nice privilege to have, because like I've never had an air conditioner before, but I've always loved air conditioning. And taking the money and buying one and setting it up and then finding out that there's a heat wave the day after, I'm like, yes. I'm so happy, because odds are they would have sold out in where I'm living, because there's not many places that sell air conditioners where I live, so I would have been fucked. In fact, I actually checked today when I went to go get my alcohol. That I went in to see, and they were sold out. So everybody bought their air conditioners as quickly as they could, and I mean, good on them. Makes sense, right? But yeah, I'm so glad I have it. Like today, for instance, I started streaming at what, like 1 or 2, something like that, like 1:30. I That's like an hour earlier than I've typically been streaming recently. And that was because I got up at 11, cranked on the AC, did my workout, had the AC going the entire time. Then I just, when 1:30 hit and Russ sent me a message saying, hey, let's play some Warzone, I was like, all right, yeah, sure, fuck it. Let's start the stream. I feel great. I slept well. I don't feel exhausted or like I'm slowly being cooked alive. How about 5 PST? That's, yeah, I could probably do that for next week. 5 p.m. Sure. I'm down for that. Oh, hello. Oh, it's a bot. I'm going to get rid of you. How do I get, hey, there you go. Get out of here. Silly bots. I don't like bots. They come in, they ruin everything. Especially with those links. Never click those links. If you ever see them in chat, never click them. It's malware. It's terrible. Yeah, so that was another big thing that happened. I loved it. It was a fantastic time getting that air conditioner, setting it up. It's enlightened me. It made me feel like a new, reinvigorated man. And it's fantastic. I don't think I'm going to be as comfortable. Hold on, let me unban them and then I will ban them. Go for it, Oz. Go for it. But yeah, no, I never thought I would be comfortable during summer because of my like being very overweight and always being a very warm person. Because like during the winter, I go outside shorts and a t-shirt and it'll be like -10, -15, and I'm still good. My body generates a lot of heat. But the summers, man, if I could, back in the past, I would have tried to hibernate through the entire thing, wake up at the end of the day or at the end of the season being 50 pounds lighter if I could. But that's unrealistic. At least now I'll be a comfortable man who can think straight and not have to worry about constantly being sweaty during streams. Like, I'm sweaty now, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's see. What else was going on recently? Ah, yes, E3. So, I was originally going to do some coverage of E3, but again, that situation with my friend happened, so I just didn't feel like I could sit down for 8 hours and watch a stream of all these video games and just commentate over it. So I figured there's already going to be so many people covering it. I'll just watch the after effect, like the aftermath of stuff, the compilations of the good, the bad, the ugly, and just see what I'm the most excited for. Like from the gameplay that I've seen, I think what I'm personally most excited for is, I think it's got to be I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it's a tie between Elden Ring, Battlefield 6, and Halo. The Halo game looked sick. It looked like they learned from their mistake of Halo 5. The Spartans look cool. The art looks cool. The fact that multiplayer is free, probably cross-platform, that's going to be pretty sick. They have a grappling hook, which might be OP, but it still looked like a lot of fun. And the fact that they're making the multiplayer free and making the campaign a separate thing that you purchase is quite nice. I do like that. It's a nice touch. Because there's a lot of people that'll just play Halo for the multiplayer. They fucked up Halo 5 so bad, I think they are separating it so that people don't have to feel like they're guilted into playing the campaign if it ends up being terrible, which I don't think it will be. The fact that it's an open world place, which probably will have quests and shit like that, I feel like it's going a more MMO route, which could be sick, especially if they allow co-op, or even not even necessarily co-op, but if they could make it like server based where you have up to like 65 60. Oh wait, they could probably do 128 players like Battlefield. If they could have like 128 players on this one place doing all this shit, that'd be cool as shit. I don't know how they'd do it, but it'd be it would be bonkers, especially in Halo. So with that new hype behind Halo, I ended up reinstalling the Master Chief Collection because I realized I never finished Halo 2 or 3 or 1. So I gotta make sure I do those at some point because Halo's coming out at the end of the year. I want to make sure I've at least streamed them all. I'm almost done Halo 2, finished the first mission of Halo 3, and I never did Halo 1, I don't think. Or at least I did, and I got frustrated and stopped, because this is back when I was first starting streaming, and I sucked at video games. Not that I'm that much better now, but I can actually hit my shots, compared to when I couldn't. Battlefield 6, yeah, that looked fucking sick. Like, I like that they made the equipment part of your loadout, like Chris rage at your PC. So, well, the thing is, I don't rage the same way people do. I'll have like a 2-minute thing where I just go on a rant, but people will full on break their computers, their monitors and shit. And I'm like, I don't think I could ever get that mad. I'm more of a verbal mad than I am a physical one, which is fine. I think it's better to get it out than to keep it in, especially in Call of Duty. So fuck it, use it as my therapy, my little rage therapy. I don't think Battlefield's gonna make me as angry though. You broke so many controllers, jeez. I've never broken a controller. I don't think I've ever broken a peripheral out of rage. I think I've accidentally broken one pouring water on it by accident, but it was never out of rage. Oh, from COD? Yeah, that makes sense. See, I don't think Battlefield's going to be rage-inducing. I feel like EA has learned their lesson with Battlefront, because Battlefront was a huge mess. It even led to like lawsuits and shit like that, and I really don't think they want to do that with Battlefield, especially like with the woke side of what was it, Battlefield 1 or 5 that was woke? It was one of the two that just did not hit the mark because people were like, what the hell is this? Why do people have cybernetic arms? That was 5? Yeah, okay, so that's what it was. So I think they got enough backlash from that to be like, all right, we have got to we've got to go back to our roots. So I remember they did Battlefield 2142, right? So I guess this is just 2042 because they just like to do 42 for some reason. I've never really understood why they use 42 as their base. Is there like a reason for that? Is it just to reflect like World War II? I'm curious. I don't know. But 42 seems to be in a lot of their titles. 1942, 2142, and then 2042, like 69. Yeah, why couldn't it be 2069? 420 in the year 42069. But yeah, no, Battlefield 6. I mean, Battlefield 6 looked pretty sick actually. I know the gameplay didn't have the highest quality graphics or anything like that, but I mean, it's a demo. Like, I know they're not going to do the nicest looking thing when they're doing a gameplay demo, because I think they want to show off how smooth it's going to play versus how nice it's going to look. I think they're taking on a strategy where they're going to under promise and over deliver, and I think that's going to end up being the best move for them. Yeah, like you're saying, it's a demo, and I think that's the best move for them because, again, they have such a bad track record of over promising and under delivering. I think this could actually be the first time EA's possibly learned a lesson. Let's hope it sticks, because like there are going to be some Star Wars games coming out. Like the Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake. I think they had another open world one that's being made by Visceral, which is going to be cool. Or maybe not Visceral. Was it Visceral? I might be wrong about the company, but they have another open world Star Wars game coming out, which is going to be good. I wonder if it's going to be like Jedi Fallen Order. It's potential that it could just be Jedi Fallen Order. It wouldn't surprise me. But SWTOR 2.0, not from EA. What, really? Wait, so is Star Wars The Old Republic getting a new one, or is Knights of the Old Republic getting a new one? Because Knights of the Old Republic is still from EA. It's just being made by being made by BioWare still, isn't it? I thought the whole remake thing was being made by... Well, I mean, it is being made by EA, because it was sanctioned during their little contract, so it has to be, because they had exclusive rights to do Star Wars games. I think they lost that recently, though. Whole other new SWTOR, it's a clone. Oh, okay. Well, hey, you know what? That's going to be good. If they have that going on with Knights of the Old Republic, we might see a resurgence of actual good Star Wars games. Especially like out of the box stuff too. It'd be nice if they actually worked pretty good. So yeah, I was pretty pumped about that entire situation with Battlefield 6 looked sick. Knights of the Old Republic we didn't see anything about, which kind of sucked. I wish we saw something, like even an announcement trailer, anything, like just confirm that it's being made. I wish we saw more about the... Oh, it's Ubisoft that's making it. Yeah, okay, so Ubisoft... Yeah, so, okay, so this one was probably in creation after EA lost its exclusivity rights. So that, honestly, if Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars game, if it's anything like Assassin's Creed but like with Star Wars, I'd be down. I don't know how they would do it with like the third person shooter aspect of bounty hunting and stuff like that, but if it ends up being more like... Well, I don't really think I want a SWTOR clone. That's the problem. I don't think we need that style of gameplay again. SWTOR already fills that void. I think they need to basically just make a reskinned Assassin's Creed, but with Star Wars. Well, I mean, what's the point? If you already have a SWTOR, why have a clone of the same game? Like, the gameplay itself isn't that thrilling. The story and the overall battles and shit are cool, but... Honestly, the gameplay is outdated. It's the same thing with World of Warcraft. It's outdated. It's a sexier twin sister, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I would rather have something that's more RPG-like and less MMO. Because MMO's already played out anyway. Unless they change it up and make the control scheme more like New World, there isn't really a point in making a SWTOR clone. Especially, like, because that SWTOR still fills a void that's there. It has that MMO feel. It doesn't need to have another game with that same feel. Why not have her like a side piece? Because you already have the same thing. What's the point in fucking the twin if the sister's the same? Right? Like, why be unfaithful if you're just getting the same package out of it? It makes no sense. Nah. If they're gonna do that, then they might as well just upgrade the entire engine of SWTOR. It'd be better off for them. Because then they're getting the subscription fees from that game, and the expansions will just continue through there. It makes more sense for them to just upgrade the... Yeah, I know it won't happen, but there's no point in making a new MMO-styled game. Like, that would be a slap in the face to actual fans of the game. Because we're expecting something like Star Wars 1313. The fact that we didn't get that was very sad. I want something like that, where it's third person, you can pick and choose what kind of career what kind of character you want to be. I wouldn't mind them having the character selection like SWTOR, but I do mind them making it an MMO. Like, if it's New World style, where it's a third-person shooter with the crafting, the professions, like your choice of what kind of character you want to be, whether it's a smuggler, a bounty hunter, an assassin, if it has that, then great. If it doesn't, then it's just like, what's the point? Why are you giving this to Ubisoft? Any other game company could do this, but Ubisoft is known for RPGs. Why turn it into something that they don't need to make it into? Like, if they turned it into something like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, for instance, but instead of like ocean boats, you have space boats. You got those spaceships flying around doing those battles. That would be sick. You have a control on whether you want to be a close quarters combat kind of guy, where your lightsabers or your vibro swords, or you could have your blasters and be a bounty hunter or a smuggler or something like that. If they want to bring professions into it and make it so that it's got like a way to create currency in game, then sure, why not? But I don't want it to be like World of Warcraft or like SWTOR when it comes to the overall play style. I want it to be something that I could play with a controller or a mouse and keyboard. Because like Assassin's Creed, I enjoyed playing more with a controller than I did mouse and keyboard. And I think that's just because they're designed better for controller than they are for mouse and keyboard for those types of games. And that's reasonable. It's understandable. Some games are just designed better for certain things. Like FPS is designed better for mouse and keyboard. RPGs are designed better for controller. It's like a pretty decent balance between the two. Actually, you know what? That could be a good... okay, I'm just going to go back for a second here. Be like Cyberpunk, customize your ding-dong. Yeah, see, that would be cool. Star Wars customizing your ding-dong. But yeah, like you said, Zarin, you're streaming For Honor. See, I wouldn't mind even if like the Star Wars game played like For Honor. That would be pretty sick too. But I have a feeling I already kind of know where it's headed. I think it's going to be another Dark Souls clone kind of thing. Because like, look at Fallen Order. That game did so well. It was so well received. I played it. It was great. Felt really good. It's just very limited in what you can do. Like, there isn't really too much customization. You're kind of in a linear story. You just go from place to place to place. If they're going to make it truly open world and try to, like, really master this kind of game, I mean, Ubisoft's one of the best people to have this one, in all honesty. Because even if they just reskinned Assassin's Creed to be Star Wars, I don't think anyone would really complain. I don't think I'd complain unless they really fucked it up. And that would have to be some immense fuck up. It's stupid to be like Battlefield optimized game. Wait, it's stupid be like Battlefield optimized games for PC and port it to console like Battlefield devs. Yes. Okay, so that's another thing I have a problem with when it comes to game development. I find that a lot of the times they build for the consoles and then port to the PC when it should be the other way around. So that way PC people actually get like the game that they can play and not have to, dumb down their graphics or anything for console plebs. But I guess they're doing it because of money and time. I know it seems it's probably just counterproductive for them to make it so in detail when most of the people that are buying these games are going to have like a shitty Xbox or a shitty PlayStation 5. Well, actually, I don't think anybody's going to have those because they're still so hard to get. But if they're going to do that, I just don't see them doing it because it requires so much effort and way more money and stuff like that. Can't play it on PC and it's my favorite game. Wait, you can't play Ghost Recon Future Soldier on PC? What? Oh, well, I mean, if it's console exclusive, that's an old game though, isn't it? Isn't that from like Xbox 360 days? Because if that's the case, use the Xenia emulator, because then you can just get the ISO. Get the Xenia emulator. Use the ISO from wherever you get your ISOs, and then you should be able to play it no problem. That's how I was able to play Condemned 2, because that's not released on PC. I had to find a way to play it. I don't feel bad about it either, because I still have my copy somewhere. It's on Steam, but the port is ass. It's one of those situations. Fuck. But I'm actually a little surprised I didn't find too much about E3 that thrilling, really. There wasn't really many games that were like announced that I was just like, whoa. Yeah, Elden Ring was probably the only like new property that I was just like, oh my god. Because like even Starfield from Bethesda, I mean, it looks good, but I don't know. I'm iffy on their track record. I mean, sure, they made Doom, but... Oh, wait, did they make Doom? No, I think they just published Doom. They made Fallout 76, and that was a mess. That was a fucking mess. Spec Ops: The Line works fine, and Fear, a game from '05. Yeah. But I mean, those ports were done by companies that really wanted... Oh, wait, wasn't Fear originally on PC? And then ported to console? I thought that's what happened. And then same thing with Ghost Recon. I think that one was available on both right away, wasn't it? I could be wrong on that one. But I think Fear was started as a PC game and then went to console. Because I remember the console ports sucked. I remember getting Fear because my friends that owned a gaming computer at the time were just like, oh, you gotta play this game, And I got it for... I think it was the original Xbox. Was it? Yeah, it was the original Xbox, and it was shit. It did not look or play the exact same as the original PC version. So I think Fear was one of the games that would actually be on your list of, oh, they actually made it optimized for PC and then ported it over to console. Yeah, it was a shit port. Unsurprisingly. But I'm just surprised that there wasn't more things at E3 I would have liked. Like, I looked up a list of games, and half of them I'm like, eh. One of the ones I wasn't expecting to see a sequel for, though, was Danganronpa. Apparently it's on its 5th game. I haven't even finished the 2nd yet. I didn't even realize there was a 4th. And it's '05 masterpiece. 2 doesn't exist. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, the Fear was a good game from what I've seen. I never really fully played it. I need to do it for stream at some point. But I thought... I can't remember, but it was either Dead Space or Fear got an official announcement for a sequel, and I think it was Dead Space. I think Dead Space 4 was the one. You DM'd me? Well, what, like now? Or like the other day or something? Oh, yeah. I saw it. The one with like Stalker and all that. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I remember seeing those. But like, I think Dead Space getting a 4th game is interesting. Um, I think they've really taken it to heart that nobody really liked 3. The people that did like 3 probably didn't like 1 or 2. So the fact that they're finally taking that time to do a sequel, I'm hoping they're going to pander to true fans of the series and actually go back to its horror roots. Like, based on the teaser trailer I saw, it looks like they're going to go for in detail gruesome gore, and they're going to go for as much fear as they can, and I'm down for it. I'm completely happy about that, because 3 was not scary. 3 was a mess. It was like if somebody decided to take Gears of War and reskin it as Dead Space. It wasn't scary. It was a soldier shoot 'em up with a guy who was never trained in the military. He was an engineer. So the other games, it felt scary because you felt weak. In that game, it didn't feel scary because you felt like you just took like 8 syringes of steroids straight into each one of your butt cheeks, and then you just went into battle. And every time you got hit, you just did a snort of cocaine, and away you went. You were completely fine. You didn't feel a single thing. Yeah, see, Dead Space 3 wasn't scary at all. Also, hey, Jelly. And it's really annoying because it feels like developers get stuck in this weird loop of they create something they like, then they make a sequel that they like, and then on the 3rd one they fuck it up and pander to whatever's going to sell the most. And I know that's not necessarily the developer's fault. A lot of the time it's the publisher pushing them to do whatever's going to make it the most money. And that's the part that's really annoying, because when you start pandering to people that aren't fans, you're already losing money, because people will return the game, people are going to be pissed, and they won't buy any future games. But if they were to just stick with the core audience that already enjoyed that type of game, I guarantee you Dead Space 3 wouldn't have flopped. It would have still made a lot of money. It wouldn't have made as much money as it did pandering to everybody, but it still would have made enough money to make a 4th one, and people would still be handing their wallets over to EA. Or, wait, who owned Visceral? I don't remember who owned Visceral, but they would still be handing their money. Oh, it was EA. They would be handing their money over to EA constantly. And that's because instead of trying to make as much money as they can by siphoning all of your wallets, they're giving you something you want. Oh my god, a shocking concept. People give you money for things that you want? Wow. You thought it was Activision? No, Activision's Blizzard. So, yeah. Activision for some reason bought Blizzard, and I'm not sure why that deal went through. It was such a weird combination. I don't see the point in those two being a partnered company, because they don't mix. How does World of Warcraft and Call of Duty go together, other than the fact that most of the people playing it are stoned? Like, that's the only thing I could think of as a direct correlation. There's no other coincidences, or there's no other well, other than greed. I guess greed. Yeah, no, there it is. That's the other the overlap. It's their greed is the same. But it was disappointing seeing a lot of the things that came from E3, because you would think with COVID it wouldn't have affected. Oh, I missed one really big game, but I didn't really count it as an E3 reveal because I've already seen gameplay of it before. Shit. I forgot the name of it already. Dying Light, that's it. Dying Light 2 Stay Human. I was going to try to say Dead Island, but that's a dead game at this point. Dying Light 2 looked fucking amazing. It honestly looks like it could be the best zombie game to ever come out. And that to a lot of people, that could be blasphemy because Resident Evil's so good. Dead Rising was so good. There are quite a few good zombie games out there. But just the way they've done this game, it looks so good. You want to play the first one, The Dying Light? Yeah, no, that one. That's a good game, too. I've got to do it on stream at some point. The New World? Oh, right. New World was already... I already played it, so I don't count that as an E3 reveal. A lot of these games I can't really count as E3 reveals because they just... they've had so much gameplay revealed beforehand. But as a game, like, wait, which game? Like New World? Like, New World itself is good. Like, it was solid when I played it in the beta. But I also don't count it as an E3 game because, again, we've already had access to it. We have played it, and it was going to be coming out in what's the word I'm looking for? It was going to be coming out this year in August, so it was already almost finished development, if not finished development, and working on their servers from the time E3 hits to August. And like maybe fixing some minor tweaks here and there. So the game was already practically done by the time E3 even showed up. But in terms of overall reveals for E3, I think Halo took it because, in all fairness, they did reveal it last year at whatever game, was it Gamescom or some shit? They did reveal it, but it looked like trash. It did not look like a Halo game from like 2020. It looked like a Halo game from 2013. So, oh, it was Gamescom? Okay, that's what I thought. So the fact that they basically redid all of that work for E3, I like to think of that as a reveal because it basically took the expectations that we saw from the previous Halo Infinite reveal, and it showed how much work they put into it in that year to really take it to the next level. I'm just hoping they don't pull a Cyberpunk where it looks really good on paper and it looks really promising, and then when you get it, it's just shit show after shit show after shit show. Like, I still haven't finished Cyberpunk because this game still doesn't fucking work for me properly. How fucking sad is that? I've never been able to finish the game because there's still areas that glitch the fuck out. And I've updated the game, I've reinstalled, I've done everything I could, and it's still broken. I don't know what to do. So I guess I'm just gonna leave that in my Steam library until fucking CD Projekt Red decides to do something about it. You know what I need? Is it like to get laid? I hope it is. I really hope that's what I need. Yes, okay. Yeah, good. But that's the thing, is like E3 just didn't have very many things for people to really be excited about. I thought I was going to see a whole lot more that I didn't actually get to see, which I guess is to be expected since everybody's working from home. Maybe it is a lot harder than I think it is. But man, I really wished they would have shown off some Star Wars games, but they didn't. I think they're dropping the ball on Star Wars. Star Wars has such a rich, deep history and lore. If they just give it to the right company, there's so much money to be made. So much money to be made. And they're just sweeping it under the rug. I don't get it. I think it's just because EA handled it so poorly that other companies are scared to kind of take over for what they're trying to do. But it's like, everybody already knew EA was going to fuck it up because EA is just a bunch of greedy people. Like the EA headquarters down in Burnaby, close to where I live, that place is known for being the worst place to work because everybody there is either in crunch time or getting fired because they're not working over 40 hours a week. It's insane. The place is garbage. The management there, trash. Being a QA tester there, I mean, it probably would be fun to get paid the same that I'm getting paid now, but not having to deal with customers and just playing video games and telling people what they did wrong, I think that'd be fun. But it's just strange. It's just odd. I think EA, something must have clicked in their head where they... Well, I'm giving them too much credit. I'm giving them way too much credit right now. Because we've only seen two things from them that I know for sure. And that's Dead Space 4 teaser trailer and Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 looks great. The Dead Space 4 teaser trailer looked good. So, I don't know. I'm still hoping I'm hoping beyond hope that EA's learned their lesson. That'll also Revo uninstaller. Oh, yes. Yes, okay. Yeah, you're right. I should have used that. Fuck, I haven't used that yet. That'll clean up the corrupted files. Yeah. I'll have to run that through then. That'll help out immensely. Oh man. But yeah, no, yeah, E3 was disappointing. I think their Nintendo conference did much better. I'm not sure what was in there. I didn't really pay attention because I don't own Nintendo. I don't really go for Nintendo products. So I know the fact that they had an hour and a half, like, weird little Nintendo Direct conference must mean that they have more gameplay or more games than like all the other consoles are getting. Oh, I missed one. Sorry. There was another game that I thought was interesting that it's not necessarily a PlayStation exclusive anymore, and that's God of War. God of War looks interesting. The fact that it's not exclusive to PlayStation is gonna open up a lot of people to buying like the the previous one and this one, because God of War is a great game, fantastic, great story design, great looking game, great bosses. Overall, I wish I could have played it from the very beginning, but I didn't have a PlayStation. I'm just trying to think here. So, yeah, like, if you wanted to play the previous God of War games on PC, there is a way to do it, and that's through PlayStation Now. You can actually play all the previous ones except for the newest God of War, and yeah, you just play it through PlayStation Now and you stream it to your PC, and it actually holds up pretty good. It's not bad. I might actually do it on stream. I just don't want to pay for PlayStation Now if I'm not going to be playing it right now. So I'm going to push that away for the next little bit. Going to keep that away from my computer and my wallet. No point in spending up money on a subscription that I'm not actually going to use. But yeah, no, the fact that PlayStation is actually kind of loosening its grip on its exclusives and realizing that there's a bigger market now that more people are in PC gaming, and some people on Xbox are probably going to want to play God of War. I think they're realizing that exclusivity isn't necessarily going to make them as much money as making the game open to everybody, because they don't make any money on consoles. No, like I've never understood exclusiveness to consoles, because you're losing so much money on it that I don't think having an exclusive game will necessarily make up for the amount of money lost on a console. It would take dozens of exclusives to make up that money. And I think companies are finally starting to learn that. I think they're finally starting to understand that software is truly where it's at. Oh, I already have it, Zarin. I just forgot to run it. I completely forgot about it, in all honesty. I actually still have the program on my computer. I just completely forgot about it. But yeah, no, I think companies need to start learning that exclusives don't actually make you more money. In fact, it makes you less money, because people have to buy your console. When they buy your console, yeah, sure, you might make your money back eventually, but not from exclusives. You'll earn it from just the everyday you'll earn it from the everyday games like Call of Duty and shit like that. There's no reason to have exclusives, none. And I think that's why Xbox made a very good pro-consumer choice by making it so that if you have the Game Pass, you can play the same games that release on Xbox same day on PC, which is a fucking brilliant idea by them. Doing that basically makes it so that they're going to be making money hand over fist and not losing $400 a console. That's what I did with some other games, and now it's clean. Yeah, okay. I'll definitely have to try that tonight and see if it makes a difference. Or I'll uninstall it tonight. I won't reinstall it and try to play it, but I'll uninstall it with Revo Uninstaller and see what happens. Perfect. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see how console exclusivity is now no longer really going to be the true norm. Like, it's still going to be a thing, but it's not going to be as big of a thing as it used to be. Like, Halo was the biggest console seller back in the day when it was super cheap to make consoles, and they probably still made a small profit on it. These consoles, they don't make any money. They make nothing. Absolutely nothing on them. It's insanity. So I'm very happy for the fact that everybody's starting to get along together now. Except for Nintendo. Nintendo just doesn't give a fuck. They've got their middle fingers in the air. They're like, you want to play our games? You buy our console, bitch. all these consoles games would come to will come to Epic on PC. Oh, probably. It wouldn't be a console exclusive anymore. It's going to be like store exclusive, like it's been with Epic versus Steam, which honestly hasn't really done anything to Steam, because Steam just started selling porn games and stuff like that, and that just made up for all the money they were missing out on the free games that Epic was giving away. So it really didn't change too much. Gabe Newell's still almost a billionaire, and everybody on PC is still playing video games on both consoles, or both stores. Wait, porn games? Oh yeah, have you not seen Steam's selection? I can't open Steam on screen because half the games are just titties. Like I went on there last night, and I went to new releases, and the first game was just called Sex with the Devil, and the thumbnail was just a zoom in on the devil with titties, and I was just like, what the fuck? What has happened to Steam? Why does it have porn games like everywhere? They're not like censored or anything. Like, the thumbnails are just full on titties. It'd be different if everything was censored, but I can't even show Steam on screen anymore. Yeah, no, not even hentai games. Like even they even have like just full on RPGs where you're leveling up just to fuck somebody. It's really crazy. Like their library now is like 50% porn, and I'm just like, what happened? What happened here? And then I realized they're doing this because it literally makes them more money than anything else they've been doing recently. Because people will buy it, they'll play it for 20 minutes, and then they'll never play it again because they'll never need to. It's really funny to see. Steam lowered their standards so that they could fill their wallets. Yeah, punish me harder, daddy. There's probably a game called that on Steam. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. Steam is such a weird place to go. What else is there? I think that's all I really had prepared for today because, like, again, I didn't even realize I had a podcast, but I wanted to bring up a couple things. That's all I could really think of for tonight. So, yeah, I mean, you know what? I think that's a solid spur of the moment podcast. We covered some topics. I got to air my grievances with a couple things. I got to make myself feel better. So hey, at the end, I consider that a win. I might actually come back with some more stream later. I don't know, but I think I'm done for podcast tonight. Hopefully next week I'll be a little bit more prepared. Like my game Agony, unrated tits and stuff. Yeah, see, but that's different though. That's just an unrated RPG, whereas this one is literally just like the devil one is literally just a game where you're just fucking the devil. So unless that's what Agony is, I think there's still a fine line between games just having titties and games that are specifically designed for you to play with one hand. if that makes sense. Not even close. That's not Agony. Yeah, exactly. So Agony's a little bit more like Dante's Inferno when it comes to the use of nudity, where it's not the main focus. Yeah, that's what I thought. It does have a story, and that's why I'm actually considering buying it, right? So I just have to complete some of the other games I've gotten off with. Dante's Inferno with tits, but Dante's Inferno did have tits. It was one of those games that I played as a kid or not as a kid, it was 2013, so I would have been 21. Yeah, it had tons of titties in it. It was great. Except for the one that had one of the bosses was really freaky, actually. One of the bosses had tits with tongues coming out of it. It was really weird. It was really strange. It was a very odd game. But yeah, it was definitely not something you'd be like sitting there going, oh, and then just like pulling a Dark Side Phil, right? What like the games that I've been seeing all over Steam now is just... Ooh. Like it either belongs on OnlyFans or the Hub at this point. That's the only place you can stream it. But yeah, anyways, guys, it was a blast talking with you. I think it's been a pretty decent day of streams. What am I at? 7 hours of streaming today? Not bad, not bad. Pretty good for a decent comeback now that I have an air conditioner. What I think I'm going to do is I think we're going to have some more wine. I'm going to turn the air conditioner on for a little bit, and then I might come back with a little bit of leveling in World of Warcraft, just to like make sure I'm still progressing that character so I can get it to the end game so I can replace it with another game. Because once I get it to level 70 or both the characters to level 70, I don't need to pick it up again. I don't need to pick it up again until Wrath of the Lich King does its classic reboot, and then I think I'll be good. But once World of Warcraft's out of the way, I can do SWTOR, and then once SWTOR's done, I can do Final Fantasy, and then I can start replacing more games. I'm also going to do Mass Effect, get that out of the way too. I've just got to get more consistent now, and I feel like now that I've got the time off, now that I've got the air conditioner, I'm going to be a lot more focused, I'm going to be a lot more driven to do it. Yeah, that's all I can really think of. Is there anybody streaming right now that I should be rating? Usually Oz has somebody lined up. Is there anybody who needs a decent raid? Let's see. Who do we got? See, Oz, if you're still here, I hope you're proud of me. I remembered. I remembered. Who is streaming? Is Torquenut streaming? I don't mind giving him another little raid. Let's see. Torquenut. Hey, Torquenut is live. Okay, let's give him a little raid. Torquenut. There we go, guys. Make sure to show him some love. He's a good streamer. He's definitely better at fighting games than I am. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for coming by. I know it's a small raid, but at least I'm remembering to do this. All right, guys. I'll see you all maybe a little bit later. If not, enjoy TorqueNut stream. If I do see you later, great. Otherwise, guys, love you all. Bye. Uh-oh.